I got asked what was my favorite performances ever on Soul Train. That's a loaded question because there's so much to pick from. Where do I start? I remember Barry White did a live performance on there with the full band. It was mind blowing. I mean, he had the whole thing. Aretha Franklin was live on there. Jackson 5, of course, doing Dance Machine, and Michael did the robot. That was still cold. Um, who else could I pick on? Ike and Tina were bad on there. James Brown always threw down on there. Tower Power were live on it, and that was tight. Aretha Franklin, Smokey Robinson was tight. Stevie Wonder was tight on there. Minnie Riperton was very memorable on there. I probably got to give a nod to Al Green is probably the best because today to still think that he had that rose in one hand and his arm in a sling and a microphone and he tore that stage up. And I probably done this before. I'll do it again. Cause Soul Train was such a staple. I mean, that was Saturday night entertainment right there. That was an era where you could watch TV, be transfixed into a moment, and you were just owned by Johnson commercial products and Ultra Sheen, Afro Sheen. Don Cornelius was holding it down. Sid McCoy was bringing it. It just was a must see event. It was just must so happening, and the dancing, the clothing, the whole nine. There was nothing like Soul Train. Nothing like it. Saturdays, aside from watching Fat Albert in the game, that was about it. You know, but if it's like I'll give you a warm up act to watching Bandstand, which was cool, but Soul Train was on a whole nother galaxy. It was like a whole different world. It could have actually been titled A Different World because that's how it put you in a transfixed mood. I mean, the performances, the title song, the sponsorship, the whole nine. You just felt like it was a show unto itself. It was nothing else like it, to be honest with you. And top flight entertainers and artists. hmm and of course, some people make a nod to hip hop when Grandmaster Flash Furious 5 came on in there. It was different. It was different. I mean, it was a different synergy when times had changed. Probably my favorite shows on it was the Rick James tribute show because that with Don and Rick, that was a real battle. That was a real war of words, and they had that was something because Don didn't think Rick was gonna be what Rick became, and that was something a sight to see. So, of course, when O'Brien, who was a protege of Don, performed, that was always tight. Bobby Womack being on there, you just look forward to seeing certain people. New Edition, that was always a must have. And I mentioned Aretha Franklin and so on like that, and that was tight. Quincy Jones, Brothers Johnson. So those off the top of my head. Sly and the Family Stone, that was a must have to watch and see. Just a who's who of people coming on there, performing. And, it just one of those things that you felt the energy, the synergy, and again, it spoke volumes to the soul. So this is just like Soul Train's greatest performances, and I liked a lot of people that were on there. Um, LaBelle tore it up. The Commodores did their thing. There's a lot of people that performed there throughout the years. And LTD, just different. When David Bowie play on there, that was tight. Elton John, that was tight. Casey and Sunshine Band, they had a variety. So you had to bring it. I remember Gino Vanelli being on there. There's a lot of different people that I like. Sylvia, Joe Tex had some. Joe Tex had some funny performances. I like the Joe Texas. Those was classic. So anybody, great performances on Soul Train. Just reminiscing. And let me know which one was your favorite Soul Train performances because there's a lot to choose from over the years as we're remembering Don Cornelius and the whole thing on the train. So stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. On my one time. Peace.